Hello and welcome to Prime Business. Coming up in the next half hour, good news as prices of petroleum and diesel are expected to go down between 10 and 8% from Thursday, December 1. We'll hear from the Institute for Energy Security.
You are looking at a 10% drop for, let's say, gasoline. And gasoline price now is going for something around 18 Ghana cedis. Then you are expecting some 1 cedi, 80 pesos to be shed off the price per liter for the commodity.
Also, President of the Insurance Brokers Association of Ghana calls for stakeholder engagement to design affordable micro-insurance products for traders following fire outbreak at Kantamanto.
The informal sector does not see the need to buy insurance. And oftentimes we wait for something to happen before they start to think about what to do. And this has not been helped by the fact that insurance practitioners have not really put at the doorstep of these people the requisite insurance policy.
And some cement producers bemoan falling demand due to the high cost of operations within the production value chain.
It has affected the demand pattern because, of course, it has gone beyond the income level of some of the consumers.
I am Beverly Broohm. Please stay for details. Staying with us here on Joy News Prime with me, Beverly Broohm. Now, prices of petrol and diesel are expected to go down between 10 and 8% from Thursday, December 1. That's a forecast by the Institute for Energy Security, IES. The price of liquefied petroleum gas is, however, expected to remain stable on account of the cedi's depreciation. The reduction in the prices of petrol and diesel will be the second consecutive period. Here is the Executive Director for the Institute for Energy Security, Nanamwesi the 7th.
The IES did an assessment over the last 2 weeks within the domestic market and on the international market. And we found that on the international market, the price of gasoline dipped by 10.5%. The price of gas oil also dropped by 11.63%. In our own local domain, although the city did not appreciate, the decline in the value was marginal. And so when you combine the fundamentals, you could project and convince yourself that over the next 2 weeks, these variables will impact on the local market positively for consumers. So if you are looking at a 10% drop for, let's say, gasoline, and gasoline price now is going for something around 18 Ghana cedis, then you are expecting some 1 cedi, 80 pesos to be shed off the price per liter for the commodity. For gas oil, you are expecting a drop of roughly 1.5%, 1.5 Ghana cedis, or let's say 1 cedi 50 pesos drop.
Away from that, parts of the Kantamanto market in Accra have been destroyed by fire. The incident this morning destroyed many goods and shops worth thousands of cedis. It is not clear yet what started the inferno. Our reporter Michael Ashale was at the scene and has come through with this report.
The fire started at 4 a.m. Tuesday morning, destroying more than 200 stalls. After more than 8 hours and the efforts of 9 water tenders, the Ghana National Fire Service managed to douse the fire, but the damage had already been done. These are supposed to be raw beans, but now half-baked by the raging fire here. That happened some hours ago. It comes from a shop that belonged to Sandra and her mother. She tells me how difficult it is even trying to salvage what's left of this particular shop.
It was 55 bags. 5 bags is 1,500. Then the 50 bag one is 920 cedis. So what we had is less than 10 bags simple. Now it's half. You have to be collecting it as we are doing here before we get that.
A very difficult moment. So what are you going to do with what you get from here?
There's nothing you can do again. This is what they say. You can't use it for anything. They can only give it to those animals who eat beans. That's all. Nothing else. Nothing else.
Oh, please, what's your name?
My name is Sandra Humata. My mom is patient and Humata.
Some more affected shop owners spoke to Joy News.
Bebe no misi so temi nchen so nyoma bebe du ni nyina hye ne ne sack se dia ya de ne bebe akokora anya bowa ebi ya 40 ebi ya 50 se dia esra ban se onnom ye kakra na se dia kantamantofo enyina eja hia to ye papa anya sam ketwa lo na yakwaji ji o mi yakwaji lo anya de ya adwuma nyoma ne nyina na ahye no ye be de nya sika kotua lo no sika ma wom
Nini nashi yehu ne ye sika susu ni wo ya ye mobo enche bia na ye ma baby school na ye san betu school fees ye be ye den enti aban ye sra wo hu ye mobo no mennom ye kakra ebi se ye ni ba bia ye ko.
Interior Minister Ambrose Derry led a government delegation on behalf of President Akufo-Addo to assess the situation and promised to provide more for the affected traders.
First of all, I want to commiserate with them on this unfortunate. First of all, I sent my fire service, the police, and not more to come and see what is happening. So right now, what I want to encourage them is that they should be cool. We would move them. A bus will come and move them to police station. First of all, to get a record of them, and the psychologist will talk to them. It's not an arrest. So for now, I want to encourage them that they should not be discouraged. They should cooperate with the security agencies here, and God would help us help them.
Now, on this development, President of the Insurance Brokers Association of Ghana, Shaibu Ali, is calling for a stakeholder engagement to design affordable micro-insurance product for retailers and traders. According to him, this has become necessary to afford traders the opportunity to insure their wares against fire and associated risk.
The informal sector does not see the need to buy insurance. And oftentimes we wait for something to happen before they start to think about what to do. And this has not been helped by the fact that insurance practitioners have not really put at the doorstep of these people the requisite insurance policies. We sell the traditional insurances that is looking out for big businesses, big corporate businesses with big sums insurance that come along with big premiums. But these are people who are selling small stuff on tabletops and small market stalls and sheds. Should we be treating them the same way? I don't think so. I think that the time has come for us to be able to design specific tailor-made policies for these people that would enable them even buy insurance for a day, buy insurance for a week, buy insurance for a month, which would allow them to pay something small for cover. The cover can be for flood, for rain, for theft, and all those things. These things happen a lot. And we know that these people do not have a stable income like the formal sector. So he can decide that this particular time is the rainy season, is the dry season, they are exposed to fires, so let me buy cover. If at another time they don't have money, it is fine. So I think the challenge really lies with us insurance people to come up with specialized policies for them that would enable them to buy insurance as and when they want, as and when they have the premium to pay for it.
Away from that, some cement producers are bemoaning fall in demand due to the hike in cost of operations within the production value chain. According to the Sales and Marketing Director for CIMAF Cement, Joseph Abor, taxes on import goods for production is hurting their operations, which calls for a drastic measure to save the situation. He spoke to Joy Business at the 2022 Home Builders Awards.
According to the cement producers, there is the need for a robust drive to streamline the activities of the manufacturing sector. According to Joseph Abu, there is the need for governments to scrap nuisance taxes that affect the operations of various manufacturing sectors of the economy.
Yes, it has affected the demand pattern because, of course, it has gone beyond the income level of some of the consumers. And of course, it has also affected the pattern of the grades that consumers are buying. You know, cement are in different grades. You have the 32.5 grade R grades and 42.5. which is of higher strength than the 32. And the 42 one is of the price is higher than that of the 32. So you've seen the trend moving toward the 32, the lower grade, which is also another issue that we need to concern. Because
organizer for the Home Builders Awards, Alex Nate, indicated that there's the need for more investment within the sector.
You have observed and seen what has gone on today. And what we see today is unprecedented. We, the organizers, are actually surprised to see the massive participation, the excitement, the joy, and the motivation this program has given the awardees and their supporters. And so going forward, it's going to be massive, because every player in society, beyond his or her expertise, he's looking for recognition.
This is the maiden edition of the Home Builders Africa Awards in Ghana.
Now, a Deputy Minister for Trade and Industry, Herbert Crapper, says government will continue to empower Ghanaian exporters to leverage on the market opportunities available under the Interim Economic Partnership Agreement, IEPA, between the European Union and Ghana, due to the enormous benefits the country is enjoying. He was speaking after a training for exporters on how to improve Ghana's gains under the initiative. Here's a report.
The conference was under the theme, Maximizing the Benefits of IEPA for Ghana. Speaking on the sidelines of the program, Herbert Crapper said the pact has been extremely beneficial to Ghanaian exporters and the economy as a whole. Hence, government is working assiduously to tackle barriers that prevent exporters from meeting the standards for exporting to the EU.
When you look at the numbers, you know that the agreement, the duty-free, quota-free agreement has definitely provided us an opportunity to increase our exports into the EU market. But also government sees it also as an opportunity to do even more. We have to pay attention increasingly to standards. These are some of the barriers that usually prevent our people from taking advantage of these markets. Standards, rules of origin, and we have to also continue to educate our exporters on what to do and how to go about taking advantage of the market access opportunity to the EU.
Compete Ghana program team lead Nicholas Goggensen Gabera outlined the advantages of the IEPA and how exporters can join the pact.
If you want to export to the EU, there are certain requirements in terms of documentation, in terms of standards, in terms of quality standards, and so on, so on. So these are the things, these issues that we are helping the Ghanaian exporters in terms of getting the right information, the source of information. We're guiding them on how to go and how to go about getting the information, which agencies to go to, whether it's GSA, FDA, PPRSD, whether it's to go to GEPA. GEPA is here and has created a hub to also facilitate the inflow of information so that exporters can go there and get the information about.
On his part, Head of Products at Niche Cocoa Company Limited, Francis Kanga, a member of the IEPA, says the agreement creates an enabling environment which pushes exporters to go to the full length in value addition.
It's a very good opportunity for us, particularly looking at the fact that we are in the process of adding value. Okay, traditionally Ghana has been exporting cocoa in the raw state to the EU, and then you have factories in the EU processing them, adding value, and sometimes bringing, in most cases, bringing this added value to us to consume, which has been unfortunate. But to be able to compete, I think that this agreement, enables us to go to the full length in value addition.
The conference was organized by the Competes Ghana program together with the Ministry of Trade and Industry and in close coordination with the EU delegation.
Let's turn our attention now to the agriculture sector as prices of fertilizer will continue to increase in the first quarter of 2023. That's according to West Africa Regional Director at Yara International, Dankwa Eduyobo. Speaking at the launch of Yara Connect, Mr. Eduyobo indicated that the Russia-Ukraine war has no end in sight, hence the conversation on fertilizers needs to shift from the cost of the product to productivity and profitability for farmers after application.
Ghana remains highly dependent on imports of inorganic fertilizer. About 239,000 metric tons of fertilizers were imported in 2021. Traditionally, most fertilizers were subsidized under Ghana's Planting for Food and Jobs program. This was to ease the burden of Ghanaian farmers following the impact of the Russia-Ukraine war on the sector. Dankwa Eduyobo is a West Africa Regional Director at Yara International.
I know that the industry has struggled generally to get fertilizers available as quickly as we wanted. And the other reality is, even when it's available, the cost has been very high. And I think this is where the relevance of driving productivity and yield and profitability for the farmer is important, because unfortunately sometimes the focus has been on a cost conversation. Now it's very expensive, so you better get the right fertilizers. Now it's very expensive, so you better use it right. Now it's very expensive, so you better optimize with the limited space you have for the right yield. I know that Russia is discussing with some partners the possibility of being allowed to push out fertilizers next year because of the food production risk for the whole world. It's a whole global impact if the global production stops. So I don't think it would switch to very positive in January, but I have a feeling that the toughness we have seen this year, it may continue a bit, but there might be a way to find solutions.
Yara Ghana launched Yara Connect, an app on expert farming knowledge for retailers selling Yara products. Digital Retail Solutions Manager Kwame Otre explained how the app works.
It's a connectivity tool that Yara has developed to connect Yara to its retailers. In the distribution chain, we work through distributors who in turn also sell to retailers, who also in turn sell to the farmer. But then we want to be able to connect to the last mile of this distribution chain by connecting directly to our retailers. Now, there are three things that we aim to achieve with the Yara Connect. The first one is to improve the loyalty of our retailers to the Yara brand. And then we know the retailers are also very key in terms of farmer advice. When farmers come to them, they can advise, or they do actually advise on which products they can use for their production or their farming. So essentially, we want to build that affinity with the retailer so that when farmers come, the value we are creating for the retailers will also inform how they also recommend our products to the farmer at the end of the distribution chain.
The Yara Connect app offers a reward-based loyalty program for its retailers.
As part of providing solutions to challenges faced with out-of-home inventory, Media Reach OMD has partnered DDG Ghana to launch its Abonting app. This, according to the Managing Director for Media Reach, Stephen Onevi. The industrial app will create convenience and monitor return on investment in real time. He spoke to Joy Business during the launch.
Instead of looking for billboards everywhere where you want to place your brands, you can go on the platform and be able to buy DDP billboards on the platform. I always say that the world is changing, right? The consumer is changing. Even brands are changing to meet consumer needs. The key selling point of Abonten is you're not going to do a lot of manual work looking for billboards. You can sit in your room as a brand manager, as a marketing person, or even anyone that wants to buy a billboard, and select the billboards that you want. In this case, DDP billboards. Look at the location, check whether the location will meet your need, look at the possible audience within that location, look at the traffic, and say, yes, I want to choose this billboard.
And that's all for Prime Business. We have more news on myjoyonline.com. /business. My name is Beverly Broohm, and I leave you with news making headlines on the international front.